Hello everyone, this is Isador, and today I'll be discussing two of the unique lords available to the Greenskins, namely Skarsnik and Grimgor. Azagh and Wurrzag will be handled in a later video. This includes how they perform in the multiplayer and the single player. Note that a lot of these lords are based on some of the basic lords available to the Greenskins, which you can find in a video I did earlier. Note that a lot of these lords are based on the basic Greenskin lords, information on which can be found in a different video in this series. Every Greenskin faction can potentially get all of these unique lords in the campaign, as long as you take care to confederate their respective tribes instead of destroying them. Skarsnik is the special variant of the Night Goblin warboss, except instead of an optional rideable squig, he has a squig bodyguard. He's an improvement on just about all fronts over a regular Night Goblin warboss, except he has slightly less total weapon strength and no shield. However, unlike a regular Night Goblin warboss riding a cave squig, which gives that Night Goblin warboss a bonus against infantry, Skarsnik always has a bonus against large units, making him more effective at taking down enemy cavalry or enemy monsters. Skarsnik has three main advantages over a regular Night Goblin warboss. The first is his Tricksy Traps ability, which is an area of effect buff centered on himself that increases movement speed, charge bonus and leadership for all nearby friendly units. It's situational, but it's still pretty good and gives your charges a bit more punch. The second reason is his special item, purchased separately, known as Skarsnik's Proda. This basically fires a bundle of explosive bolts at a target, which fly in a straight line until they hit, then explode for area of effect damage. It's almost a magic spell, except without costing power points. It's great against blobbed infantry formations, but not as powerful as an actual spell. Lastly, his health is also the second highest of any lord available to the Greenskins, beaten only by Azagh on his Wyvern. In the multiplayer, however, Skarsnik does pay a pretty penny for admittedly only a handful of advantages. He's a lot more expensive than a regular Night Goblin warboss, so if you do pick him for his unique abilities. If you're not gonna use those, pick a regular Night Goblin warboss instead. In the campaign, the only way to start off with Skarsnik is to play as the Crooked Moon tribe. He gives awesome bonuses to his faction, namely reducing the recruitment cost and maintenance fee of all goblin units, not goblin mounted units mind you, by 40%. All hero actions performed by agents of the Crooked Moon tribe also cost 50% less gold to execute, and Crooked Moon agents level up twice as quickly as other agents. He also starts off with a few advanced goblin units and a massive Ragnarok, which gives him a tremendous edge in his early battles, even if he's forced to use goblin units for most of the campaign. He also has a special trait that lets him use lightning strikes, which allow him to attack enemy armies without either side benefiting from reinforcements. However, Skarsnik is obsessed with Karagate Peaks, and his whole empire suffers an obedience penalty until it's conquered. And more importantly, he has no access to orc units until he conquers it, so Skarsnik is definitely reserved for challenging plays only. Grimgor Ironhide is one of the two unique lords for the main Greenskin tribe. He's supposed to be an orc warboss variant, but honestly he's more like a beefed up black orc that took command. He really is a black orc though. He gets the same abilities as a regular warboss, except he's also immune to psychology, has some really heavy armor, his melee attack is extraordinarily high, and all his attacks are armor piercing. He's a death-dealing machine, especially if you get him his special axe, Gitsnik. This grants him another activated self-buff that pushes his already high damage through the roof. Regrettably, Grimgor has no shield and as such is vulnerable to ranged fire. His melee defense is also surprisingly low, so while he can usually kill most enemies that get in range quite quickly, Grimgor struggles to avoid damage heading his way. I almost dare say he's a glass cannon, but he does have high health and armor, so it's not quite that bad. If you start a campaign as Grimgor, you get a squad of Black Orcs, Boar Boys, and a Doomdiver catapult. All great units, especially in the early game. He also starts with a special banner that only works for Black Orcs and gives them a number of massive stat boosts, including +5 armor, +6 melee defense, and +10 leadership, turning your one starting Black Orc squad into a center unit for your army. As such, Grimgor has the easiest start of the Greenskin lords. His campaign bonuses increase the movement rate of all armies in his faction by 5% and decrease the upkeep of Black Orcs and Biggins by 10%. The decreased upkeep cost is not immediately useful, since you won't have access to Biggins immediately and only get one squad of Black Orcs until much later in the game, but it does help maintain your economy somewhat. He also has a special trait called Warlord, which increases the leadership of all Black Orcs under his command, further encouraging you to make Black Orcs a core unit in your army once you unlock them. However, as Grimgor, you won't be unlocking the other legendary lord of the Greenskins early. Azagh doesn't become recruitable until you build the shaman's hut somewhere, which may take you a while due to the gold cost involved. That's all for part 1 of the Greenskin unique lords. Stay tuned for part 2. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to support me in making more content like this, please visit my Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next video.